Entering the cage first into the red corner, Curtis Manor.
Curtis coming in, he's making his MMA debut today. He decided for his 40th birthday he's going to be a cage fighter and a pantomime dame. And a couple of weeks ago, smashed it in his pantomime dame role, and now he's having the fight. But he's got a tough opponent here in Will Welch.
Yes, he certainly does. Obviously, Curtis Manners is not going to be using any of that acting tonight. He's going to have to really be set on a purely genuine performance, because Will Welch is on a winning streak here at Battle Arena after having outpointed George Williams at the last Battle Arena card in Birmingham. So Will Welch will be looking to extend his streak, while Curtis Manners is going to look to make a big splash at, did you say 40 years old, Chris?
40 years old. Looking good for it as well. He's a young man.
40 years young. Yeah, definitely looking decent. And a tattoo always helps. Midlife crisis. Good for him. Really good for Curtis, coming in here and fulfilling his dream.
Especially having the balls to come in and take on a more experienced fighter. And, you know, it's not Will's debut. He's had a couple of fights.
Yeah, and that experience could really play into this fight tonight.
And I think one of the things that's going to help Will Welch, he's from SBJ, and one of his training partners, Jordan Bowyer, is the Battle Arena European champion. So he gets to spar with him all the time, get some experience and practice. And what Will's got in this fight is reach, which he seems to have in every fight. He looks taller every time we see him.
I know, I really want to drink whatever it is that Will Welch is on, because I could use to grow a couple of feet, that's for sure. However, we've got definitely a game Curtis Manners across from the cage from him. And sometimes those stockier guys, those shorter guys, can get on the inside of taller fellas a little bit easier, beat up the body, come up stairs with hooks and uppercuts, and maybe make a big statement. But Will Welch looks very in control, very smooth, very calm right now as he steps into the cage.
Introducing first fighter in the red corner, weighing 93.5 kilograms, fights out of CDMMA. Curtis Manor.
Curtis, Roger Gracie blue belt, kickboxing instructor, well-rounded fighter, and he's got some power in those hands.
And his opponent fighter in the blue corner, also weighing 93.5 kilograms, fights out of SBJ MMA.
Will Welch, the king of jab and move in his last fight. He's just jab, move, outpointing his opponent. He wants to march forward, maybe use the fact that this is a smaller cage to close the distance and stay on him.
Yeah, I was just about to say that small cage definitely benefits the wrestlers, but Will Welch comes in with a leg kick there that seemed to have kicked back Curtis Manners' leg.
Oh, Curtis sticking to his game plan, closing the distance. Now we're going to see the grappling of Will Welch, which we haven't seen much of. His last fight, he managed to keep it on the feet. I think he's from a striking heavy gym, so maybe it'll be a good idea for Curtis to take this to the mat.
Curtis is looking to trip up those legs. You saw him with an outside trip there, started an inside trip. Again, knees clash. It's going to be quite painful there. And we got Will Welch coming over the top with his right hand that landed early on in the fight. Big swinging kick from Will Welch.
Every time we're at range, this is Will Welch's game. Curtis doing the smart thing again, closing down the distance. He's a very powerful guy, but we know that Will Welch is experienced.
And Will Welch is long, which gives him that leverage. Will right now has the benefit of head control in that clinch position, which I'd just like to see Curtis just setting the top of his forehead up and inside Will Welch's jaw. And he smiles at him there. A little bit of blood on Curtis Manners' face. Curtis is really enjoying it. He's got a big smile on his face. That's what I want to see. It's definitely game. Now he's under there. Gets thrown to the ground. And maybe he's baiting him in here for a little bit of his grappling style, but Will Welch is raining down punches. Curtis taking two or three big shots.
We know that Curtis can grapple really well, but will he be able to get through these strikes? The referee is looking very closely at it. The referee is looking super closely. He's recovered guard. That's really good. He's going to tie him up now. That's absolutely fantastic work from Curtis Manners.
He does need to close that guard to control the hips of Will Welch, because every time he's able to lift a hand back and drive it through, it's just coming with so much power. You saw those right hands just bouncing Curtis Manners' head back into the cage and into the turnbuckle.
Curtis needs to use that butterfly hook, maybe to elevate a little bit. At the moment, he's just turning away. And the referee, he wants to see that Curtis is intelligently defending. Curtis does a good job of using his legs to push away.
And Will Welch is right back on him. Big uppercuts, big right hand coming through. The straight punches.
I think Curtis is struggling a little bit now, maybe just gassed a little bit, and Will Welch's experience means that he's pacing himself just that little bit better.
He is dazed, Chris. He is definitely dazed. Curtis Manners needs to get his head up post and come up right now. Grappling only works if you're on your feet, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to take somebody down. And right now, Will Welch has got one hook in. He's across the back of Curtis Manners, and he's pounding. Pounding with that right hand.
This might be a mistake from Will Welch, and it's a very dominant position, but he was doing so well with that top pressure, and you can't hit the back of the head in MMA, and Curtis is doing a good job of not taking too much damage, but the referee might want to stop it because he's intelligently defending himself. He's not currently trying to get out of this position. What he needs to do is try and clear those hooks off his hips and get back to a top position.
And there's the stoppage. Curtis Manners was showing some good heart there, getting back up onto his knees as best as he possibly can. So there's a good level of sportsmanship there from Curtis Manners, and Will Welch is very, very happy with that victory. Very happy to get the finish. An excellent performance from Will Welch. He really set up that jab to straight right hand in the very beginning. He set the tone for this fight with some really excellent striking. Not a bad debut for Curtis Manners. He fought a very game opponent, very tough and experienced opponent. Hopefully we'll see him back in here, because I hope his real goal is not just to have an MMA fight, but to get an MMA victory. Well done, Curtis Manners. Thank you for joining us here at Battle Arena, but it's Will Welch's night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll rise to these two fighters for a great contest. So after 2 minutes and 48 seconds of the very first round, we have your winner via TKO. From the blue corner, Will Welch. And please make some noise for your runner, Curtis Manners. So, well, TKO win today. Is that what you were looking for, game plan wise, coming into this fight?
Yeah, man, I didn't think it'd be so quick, but just got to use my range, and when he come in, take him to the floor. I'm happy with that, mate.
Yeah, you're hitting with some really nice kicks, obviously using your range. Nice low kicks and a lovely body kick. You know, do you use kicks a lot because of your height and your levers?
Yeah, I've been trying to work on my kicks. I used to stick to my hands, but I've been trying that a bit more. You know, it's working out well for me.
And then, about halfway through the first round, you had him towards it, in the cage, and you had him pinned down. Did you think you had him finished there?
Yeah, as soon as, you know, he looked like he was struggling a bit, so I just plowed it in. And, you know, the fight was called off.
But he was tough, obviously, lasted a little bit longer, then flattened him out and finished it.
Took a hard-beating man, did really well. I got him a couple of good shots, and that's the end of the fight, mate.
That's it. Well, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your winner, Will Welch.